Groupe PSA was a French multinational manufacturer of automobiles and motorcycles sold under the Peugeot, Citroën, DS, Opel and Vauxhall brands. Peugeot was the largest PSA brand. PSA was listed on the Euronext Paris Stock Exchange and was a constituent of the CAC 40 index. Beginning in 2016, PSA began to outline a strategy which entailed the rapid expansion of the company through both geographic expansion and acquisitions of other car companies. PSA has announced plans to enter the Indian, American, Canadian, Southeast Asian, and other markets in the coming years. Headquartered in Rueil-Malmaison, PSA, with sales of 3.88 million units in 2018, was the third largest Europe-based automaker, just a fraction behind Renault. On the 31st of October 2019, Groupe PSA announced its intention of merging with Fiat Chrysler Automobiles. The merger was on a 50-50 all-stock basis. On the 18th of December 2019, FCA and PSA announced that they had agreed to the terms of a binding $50 billion merger, which as of mid-2020 was pending approval by European competition regulators. On the 16th of July 2020, both companies announced they intend to name their merged operation Stellantis. The name Stellantis is derived from the Latin verb, stello, which means, to brighten with stars. The deal was closed on the 16th of January 2021. In December 1974, Peugeot SA acquired a 38.2% share of Citroën. On the 9th of April 1976, they increased their stake of the then bankrupt company to 89.95%, thus creating the PSA Group, becoming PSA Peugeot Citroën. Since Citroën had two successful new designs in the market at this time and Peugeot was typically prudent in its own finances, the PSA venture was a financial success from 1976 to 1979. In late 1978, PSA purchased the failing Chrysler Europe from the troubled US parent firm for a nominal $1 United States dollar, plus assumption of outstanding debt, leading to losses for the consortium from 1980 to 1985. Further investment was required because PSA decided to create a new brand for the entity for the disparate French and British models, based on the Talbot sports car last seen in the 1950s. From then on, the whole Chrysler Simca range was sold under the Talbot badge until production of Talbot branded passenger cars was shelved in 1987 and on commercial vehicles in 1992. All of this investment caused serious financial problems for the entire PSA group. PSA lost money from 1980 to 1985. There were some bright spots, however, mainly thanks to the success of the Peugeot 205 and in spite of Talbot sales withering away. PSA surpassed Renault in sales in the domestic French market for the first time in 1983. In 1987, the company dropped the Talbot brand for passenger cars when it ceased production of the Simca developed Horizon. The Samba and Alpine Solara had been discontinued a year earlier. What was to have been the Talbot Arizona became the Peugeot 309. With the former Roots plant in Brighton and Simca plant in Poissy being turned over for Peugeot assembly from October 1985. Producing Peugeots in Brighton was significant, as it signaled the first time that PSA would build cars in the UK. The Talbot name survived for a little longer on commercial vehicles until 1992 before being shelved completely. From 1987 to 1995, the Brighton plant also produced the Peugeot 405 saloon. On the 29th of February 2012, PSA announced the creation of a major alliance with General Motors, as part of which GM became PSA's second largest shareholder, after the Peugeot family, with a holding of 7%. The alliance was intended to enable $2 billion per year of cost savings through platform sharing, common purchasing and other economies of scale. In July 2012, a union official said that PSA Peugeot Citroën would cut as much as 10% of its French workforce of 100,356 employees on permanent and temporary contract. The jobs cut was more than previously announced. On the 24th of October, PSA said it was close to an agreement with creditor banks on €11.5 billion of refinancing and had won state guarantees on €7 billion in further borrowing by its bank PSA Finance. On the 12th of December 2013, General Motors announced it was selling its 7% stake in PSA Peugeot Citroën to Padmapriya Automobile Investment Group. In 2014, Dongfeng Motor Group, the Chinese partner that builds PSA cars in China, and the French government each took a 13% stake in PSA in a financial rescue operation, reducing the Peugeot family share from 25% to 14. Following Dongfeng and the French government each acquiring stakes in Groupe PSA, various cost-cutting measures at the company turned its fortune around and gradually reduced PSA's debt, until the company began to turn a profit beginning in 2015. A new CEO, Carlos Tavares, was engaged and began to implement various cost-cutting measures and expanded the model range of all three core brands, alongside the creation of a new brand, DS Automobiles. In early 2016, PSA unveiled a roadmap detailing its plan to re-enter the North American car market for the first time since 1991. Although